kind of interaction it deals with. It's basic, limited, complex, or real time. Okay? And the third level of interactivity compels learners to evaluate situations and utilize their knowledge and also take decisions. Since learners need to apply their acquired knowledge, this level measures the third and the fourth level of Bloom's taxonomy, that is applying and analyzing. I'll give some more examples for complex interactivities. So I have what shall I call it as? I have an annotation activity
யாரோ
here.
வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க.
Okay, I've got a passage here. Please, you need to understand. Sorry, you need to underline
Julian
the
Martin.
key ideas here. Okay. So I read the passage, I process the information, and then I identify significant information here. So let me underline the important information. Um, so the essence of this message is that learners, they refuse to be passive learners. Okay, today's students, they refuse to be
நம்ம
passive
பேசுறது
learners,
போல.
and they want to be active. So they expect to be uh, fully engaged and to be part of the learning process. Maybe this is an annotation activity. In your classrooms also, you will be able to use this annotation activity. Say, for example, if you are teaching a poetry, if you are teaching a poem, you can display a stanza of the poem and you can ask the students to identify images, metaphors, or other literary devices used in the poem. Or if you are teaching grammar, you can show some sample sentences and ask them to identify the grammatical structure that you are teaching.
மேம் அதை அவங்கள மியூட் பண்ணி விடுங்க.
And when the student submits, the teacher will be able to see what the students has done. So as you now see, it is the teacher's screen. I see all the students
இங்கே
screen
நடந்து
here.
நடந்து போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க.
So the first student has
இன்னொருத்தர் டெஸ்க்டாப்
submitted,
ஏதோ பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு.
and
சார்
so Jyoti Singh, she has
சேவியர்
underlined some of the key ideas here. So I'll be able to check all your answers from my screen. Now I have a poll. This poll question is also
இதை பின் கொடுங்க.
an example for complex interactivity. It is a complex interactivity because a poll is not a multiple choice question. There is no correct or wrong answer here. There is no right or wrong answer here. You can choose more than one answers. You can choose more than one option here. So for the students, it appears like this: which of the following classroom activities make our learners passive? So you have an option. Let me choose a few. So activities that make learners passive: memorizing for an examination certainly, and listening to lectures. And in my opinion, reading books also make our learners passive these days. But for generations who were born before 1990s, they like to read books. Even I like to read books instead of watching a video or watching a movie. We like to read the novel or the primary text. And for the teacher, this puzzle appears like this poll. So I see all your answers here. Okay, and there is also a pie chart which keeps growing on the left hand side, okay, with numerical data about your choices that is also presented here. So as of now,
என்னம்மா
the top 3 passive activities according to you, those who answer, are listening to lectures, reading books, and memorizing for an examination. But unfortunately, these are the 3 main activities that happens in all the
சேனல்
classes.
லிங்க் அனுப்புகிறேன், அதை ஓப்பன் பண்ணி
So,
பஃபரிங்கோட வருதா எப்படி?
so this poll is an example for complex interactivity. Now I have another example for complex interactivity. This is a 3D image. Okay, this is a 3D object. Okay, I hope you are able to recognize it, what it is. Are you able to recognize this particular object? Can anyone tell me what it is?
So it is a cell.
Yeah, it's an animal cell. Yeah, it's an animal cell. So this is a 3D object. That means you can interact with this object. You can swipe, you can rotate it, you can even zoom in and zoom out. You can even pierce through the outer layer of the cell and see what is there inside this particular object. Okay? And you will be able to see all the parts in the cell. Okay, instead of showing 2D objects. When I studied school, my science teacher draw this picture on the wall. So I thought it is a very it's a very flat image on the blackboard. But now what you see here is a 3D image, so you will be able to have a better understanding of animals. There are several such 3D objects available in Nearpod, also in the internet. So you can use them for your
வந்துட்டு தான் இருக்கு. ஏன்னா
lessons.
டிலே
And I hope this. I'm going to show you a 360-degree image.
அப்படியா?
Many of you must be familiar with this particular place. This is a 360-degree image. That means you will be able to see all the sides in the image. Okay? You must have heard about virtual reality (VR). If you wear a goggle-like object on your eye and use this particular 360-degree image, you will feel as if you are standing in this particular place. This is Shakespeare's theatre, Globe Theatre. Again, you can zoom in, zoom out. You can see all the parts in this place. You can even see the place where you are standing in this particular image, seat number 28. And you can see the sky. So there are plenty of such 360-degree images available in the internet. So for your lessons, you can use such 360-degree image. Again, this is a complex example for complex interactivity. You don't just click or read or watch. Instead, you interact with the object in a complex manner. The last level of interactivity is known as real-time interaction. Real-time interaction is the highest one, or it is the most advanced level of interactivity, because here learners are free to learn and practice new skills, as well as have full control over their learning. Okay, this is, as I already told you, this is the highest level of interactivity used in MOOCs or in e-learning. And in this real-time interactivity, you can find the interactive videos. Interactive videos means a video will play, and the video will also have embedded question. At a particular point in the video will automatically stop, and the question, a multiple choice question, will pop up. If you answer correctly, you will be prompted to move to the next portion in the video. Otherwise, you will be redirected to watch the previous part of the video. Okay? Or you will be able to click on the images in the video, and when you click on the image, a pop-up message will come explaining what that object is. Okay? There are such interactive videos available in the internet. And social media can also be considered as real-time interaction. Say, for example, now we interact through Google Meet. That is an example of real-time interaction. Okay, and Facebook, Twitter. When you have such social media, you can you can enhance real-time interaction in the class, and augmented realities or virtual reality exercises, where you will have 360-degree images or videos that can also come under real-time interaction. So as you see, you cannot very clearly classify these 4 levels of interactivity. Of course, there will be overlappings. Some of the activities may come under real-time interaction as well as under complex interaction. It is very difficult to draw a clear line between these two, the levels of interactivities. And completely gamified courses or scenario-based courses. Scenario-based courses are very popular now in skill-based courses or skill-oriented courses, where you will be presented a scenario, a situation, and you need to act on. Okay, you need to apply all the knowledge that you gained through the course in order to solve a particular problem. Um, Say, for example, in medical courses, they use appropriate level, and according to the subject, you have to make choices. Made settings. So these are known as settings, and after making settings, you have to add either content or activities. Okay, when you say content, you will present information, and in activities, you will make your students do a particular activity, thereby they create new information. So click on add content or activity. You will get a dialog box like this: content and activities. Okay, content and activities are there. You can choose any type of content or any type of activity. Let me briefly explain each of these content and activities. So in under content, you can create a slide or a video. You can insert a video from YouTube, or you can even upload your own video from your computer, or you can insert a website. Okay, you can insert a website. You can have 3D objects. I showed you animal cells using this particular option. And you have simulation activities, and then virtual reality field trip. I showed you Shakespeare's Globe Theatre using this VR field trip. BBC Video. BBC Video is a collection of documentaries produced by BBC. So you can even include them in your lesson. Sway. Sway is a collection of, Sway is a presentation, I would say. You insert another presentation into your presentation. To put it simply, that is what a sway is. And then a slideshow, you can add several files, and your students can go through those files and access them. You can even insert an audio file or a PDF file. So these are the kind of content you can add to your lesson. And for activities, you can create time to climb. Time to climb is a gamified activity. It's very interesting and funny. So try this at least once. And open-ended questions, you can ask an open-ended question, and your students can post a paragraph or an essay they can write. Okay, then matching the pair, quiz, Flipgrid. Flipgrid activities are very helpful for speaking assessments. And draw it, I had an annotation activity in between. Draw it. And collaborate bulletin board. You will have a bulletin board where all your students can post answers and you can discuss it. And you can have a poll, you can have a fill in the blank activity, or you can even have a memory test. These are the activities that you can create in Nearpod. Okay, once you create all the, once you add necessary content and activities, your lesson will look like this. Well, I'll show you an example.
Hello.
Your lesson will look like this. Okay, all your content and activities, they'll become separate slides. Okay, so I've got 29 slides here. The same way, when you prepare your Nearpod lesson, it will look like this. It is almost like the PowerPoint presentation. So after adding all content and activities, click Save and Exit. And your lesson will be saved in your library, My Lessons. Okay. After it is saved, if you move your cursor over your lesson, you will see two options: live participation and student quiz. If you click on live participation, the lesson will be launched and a code will be automatically generated. The code is different each time, so you don't have to write it down. And then you have to share. All you need to do now is share this code with your students, and your students will enter it in the Nearpod app. Okay, in their Nearpod app or in the Nearpod website. So that way they will be able to join your lesson. I hope I've explained how to create a Nearpod lesson. You try it once, you will understand. It's a very simple app. So with this, I'd like to end my presentation. If you have any question, you're welcome to ask. If there are no questions, then I hand over the session to the organizers to further proceed.
Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul, says Henry Ward Beecher. First and foremost, on the outset, I extend my joyful thanks to the Almighty for making His presence throughout this session. On behalf of our organization and our team, I extend my hearty thanks to Dr. Xavier Pradeep Singh for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and openings today. Well, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The weeds start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. I'm immensely thankful to the head of the department, Dr. Angeline Priya, for her logistic support and guidance. Thank you, ma'am. I extend my returning gratitude towards my professors for being a motivated and dedicated inspiration. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place and record our hearty thanks to all the participants of today's seminar. We thank you for being with us evening. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you. Let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining with us. We will meet tomorrow, the same time, 5 to 6 p.m. through Google Meet and YouTube. Thank you.